We know his name and all, but really, who is William Shakespeare? While we might not care too much about who William Shakespeare is in our day-to-day life, in our class and in the world at large, Shakespeare is a lot more than just some dead guy. If we're going to read his work, we might as well know a little bit more about him. The Bard was an English author and playwright who wrote many famous plays, sonnets, and more. He lived during the Elizabethan era, which is the second half of the 16th century. He was born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon. Then he married Anne Hathaway, not that one, in 1582, and he had 3 children, Susanna, Hamnet, sound familiar, and Judith. Shakespeare started as an actor and a playwright with the Lord Chamberlain's Men, which later became the King's Company when James I renamed them. Fun fact, back then, there were only male actors allowed on stage, so, you guessed it, Juliet wasn't so ladylike after all. Shakespeare's company built the Globe Theatre in 1599, which made Shakespeare wealthy. His plays then began to be published in 1594. He continued writing until about 1613 and died shortly after in 1616. In total, Shakespeare wrote 37 plays and 154 sonnets. Lucky we don't write that much in this class. Shakespeare created highly complex plays with simple plot lines that are riddled with all kinds of nuances and small details that appealed to a wide variety of people at the time, and that are still captivating today. These plays are known for their multiple interlocking plots, twists, and confusions, so that not just commoners, but royalty and aristocracy loved them. Shakespeare started writing his plays in genres like history and comedy, but then he stretched to writing tragedies, which are some of his best-known plays. Among students, Shakespeare may be best known for the special kind of language that he used in his writing that was rich with detail, metaphors, and imagery. He even created many of his own words that we use today. Recognize any? Too many to read? How about phrases we use? Recognize any of those? And if you don't believe me, take it from Sir Kenneth Branagh, who has had his fair share of experience with Shakespearean plays.
I don't believe you need to know every word that is available to you in Shakespeare, because in fact you are quoting it every day and people don't understand it. For instance, if you have ever been more sinned against than sinning, then you are quoting Shakespeare. If you have ever played fast and loose, then you are quoting Shakespeare. If you have ever been tongue-tied, if you have ever been hoodwinked or in a pickle, you are quoting Shakespeare. If you have ever knitted your brows or insisted on fair play or stood ceremony or laughed yourself into stitches or even had too much of a good thing, you are quoting Shakespeare. If, in fact, you think it's high time, etc., 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 you are quoting Shakespeare. It's there.
See? You've probably used some of Shakespeare's words today without even realizing it. But it's not just his words that we're familiar with. Although Shakespeare died hundreds and hundreds of years ago, we still read and perform his plays today. You can even find his storylines and references to so many of his characters throughout the TV, movies, music, and all of the kind of pop culture that we see today. So without even knowing it, you've been getting to know William Shakespeare all along. Now you're ready to start reading his works like a pro. For more information on Shakespeare or his influences on your daily life, follow these links or any of the links in the description below.